Hey everyone, Ryan from Ebike Escape, the YouTube channel and website where I talk about electric bikes and electric bike accessories. Welcome back to my garage where we have the newest addition, this banner, which beats the bare background that I had before. Today I am really excited to check out the Chapter helmet from 1000. The Chapter helmet is a brand new offering from 1000. We previously reviewed their Heritage helmet. This is the one that my wife wears. And some of the comments that I received when we did the Heritage helmet was people were looking for a MIPS helmet, and I'll get into the details of that if you aren't familiar with that. And the other thing that I personally thought about was it would be great if there was a light on the back. And these are two changes that 1000 made to their Chapter helmet. So I was really excited when I found out about it. I reached out to the company and they agreed to send me a helmet. I chose the Stealth Black. There are two other colors that they offer. I'll flash them on the screen. I really like the nice sleek look. This is their branding is kind of a little bit more hidden. It's a little glossy here. And then beyond that, they just have the MIPS logo here. And so if you aren't familiar, I'm going to talk a little bit about MIPS. I'm just going to read right from the information that they provide. MIPS is a brain protection system. Rotational motion can cause brain injuries. The low friction layer allows for a sliding motion of 10 to 15 millimeters in all directions, reducing the rotational motion transmitted to the brain during impact. Basically, MIPS adds additional protection. So I see a lot of people shopping these days for MIPS helmets, and I definitely think that this one is worthy of consideration where it comes in at the price point. 1000 is very well known for their helmets that are a little bit more unique. Their branding or the marketing that they go out with is a helmet you'll actually want to wear, and I certainly agree with that. I really like what they did with the Chapter helmet. It has a few more air vents or larger air vents on the top compared to the Heritage. And on the back, the Heritage helmet has these back here, and then the Chapter helmet has these vents here. And I've been riding this in the heat, and I mean, I'm not a person who typically runs hot, but I haven't had a problem with ventilation. So let's get into some of the other features, get a close-up of this helmet and talk a little bit more about it. Before I get into giving you a little bit closer look on the Chapter helmet, I do want to mention there are links in the description to both this helmet as well as the Heritage ones. If you make a purchase, that helps support Ebike Escape. Thanks in advance. When you open up your package, it will come in this little bag. This is a more velvet material compared to the more burlap bag that the Heritage helmets come in. And we actually do use these bags when we store them in our closet. The other things that you'll receive is a mount for your bike, which is a cool addition. I'll pull this out here. So as you can see, this will wrap around, for instance, your rear seat post, or perhaps if you have a rack. It is adjustable to a couple different sizes, so it should fit in most cases. And then this is magnetic as well, and then of course you'll get your USB charger. I wanted to show a few different mounting options. Here it is on my seat post, and then I also mounted it on my seat stay. Note that you might have difficulty mounting it on a rear rack unless your rear rack is quite thick. Of course, you could always DIY something to make it work. It also worked just fine on my front handlebars. So it's nice to have this as an option, but for me, I will be using this light on our helmet. I already have rear lights on both of our electric bikes. And so what's really slick is when you attach this to the helmet, it automatically turns on. This is obviously the flashing mode. Not sure how that's going to show up on the camera. And then if you hit the power button again, that's the solid. And it feels really sturdy on the back of the helmet. It's definitely not going anywhere. And I did want to compare this light to the one on the Ebikes Pedelec 2.0 that I also reviewed. And it probably shows up on the camera, but you can clearly see the Chapter light is far superior. The other thing to keep in mind is on the Pedelec 2.0, that light is integrated, which means you have to bring your helmet inside if you want to charge it. So really happy with the light, really handy, love the safety aspect. I'm always looking for ways to improve safety while I'm on my electric bike. The other thing I wanted to compare was the inside of this helmet compared to the Heritage for those of you considering both models. And you can see it's slightly different. And part of that has to do with the MIPS technology in the Chapter helmet. You can see they have this kind of yellow plastic material underneath. The other thing to keep in mind is these helmets all have the adjustable wheel in the back, the click wheel, which is really nice. It's very common on higher quality helmets. And as far as sizing goes, this is a size small. I am right at the point where you could get a medium or a small. They always recommend going down. And I have to say that this helmet fits perfectly. When I put it on, I just have to adjust that click wheel just slightly to get it tight on my head. And as far as comfort goes, I don't know if it has to do with the shape of my head, but I do prefer this one compared to the Heritage helmet, and I believe this is going to be my everyday helmet that I use from here on out. The other difference between the two helmets, beyond the MIPS technology and the light, is the straps. So you can see here the Chapter helmet has more nylon straps, and one thing that I really thought was a nice touch on the Heritage helmets was the vegan leather straps. Not a big deal, just something to keep in mind. And then of course on the Heritage helmets, that brim is built into the helmet, and on the Chapter helmet it comes with a removable one. I'll definitely be leaving that on. I think it adds to the look. And here's a little bit more of a close-up of the branding that they do. And one other thing that is definitely worth talking about is Thousand's Pop Lock. I haven't seen this on other helmets, maybe it exists, but they have this hole here in the back, and on this helmet it is really kind of stealthy. You don't even really notice it unless you're looking for it. But what this is it allows you to lock up your helmet with perhaps a U-lock or the folding lock like we do. And if your helmet gets stolen while it is locked up to your bike, Thousand will replace your helmet for free, and of course the Heritage helmet has this feature as well. The other thing I think that I wanted to talk about is just the color choices. This, as I mentioned earlier, the Chapter helmet has 3 color choices. One of the great things about the Heritage helmets is they have so many different color offerings. We have the GT stripe here, which I'm a huge fan of. My wife loves it, and then of course we have the navy. So while it would be nice for them to offer a bunch of different colors in the Chapter helmet, maybe that's something that they'll add in the future. I also think it's probably difficult for a company to manage so many different colors on the helmets they sell. So just something to keep in mind. The Chapter helmet comes in at $135, whereas the Heritage helmet comes in at $89. It's going to be personal preference on whether you want to pay the additional $45 for the slightly different look, the rear light, as well as the added protection. One other thing worth mentioning is Thousand does have a referral program, so perhaps you already know someone who has a Thousand helmet. If you ask them, they might be able to give you their referral code, and you can get a little bit more off the price of either helmet. So I hope that helps give you a little bit better idea if you're considering either of these helmets. Again, the link will be in the description to Thousand's website. Appreciate it if you use that link if you're considering making a purchase. I will also put a link to my electric bike deals page as well as my electric bike accessories list. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.